Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, today we're talking about the preview of Boruto episode 212. The last episode of Boruto was unexpectedly fire, heading into especially the end of the last episode. So heading into this episode right here, we know that this episode right here is going to be absolutely fire. This right here is going to be adapting a chapter of the Boruto manga. I believe it's either chapter 45 or chapter 46. I kind of forgot. I talked about it more accurately in the actual spoiler review. But regardless, this episode right here is pretty much going to be, well, it's supposed to be Kashin Koji and Amado actually starting their quote-unquote defection. I think the title is going to be Amado's defection or something like that. But it's essentially them actually leaving the Kata organization, completing their, I should say, betrayal of Jigen and the Kata organization. So hopefully we get to see some action in this particular episode right here. Supposedly Amado is going to be leaving. This is going to be like one of the first times that he actually left the Kata organization or the Kata hideout, mainly because he wasn't necessarily allowed to leave. And Kashin Koji is actually going to be squaring up with Jigen in this episode. I don't necessarily expect them to get into the thick of things in regards to actually fighting in this episode, but regardless, Kashin Koji and Jigen are still supposed to, I should say, size each other up in this episode. It should be interesting. But regardless, let's get into the actual spoilers. But by the way, why is my guy's mouth completely wide open? G, big pause. Oh, they got Delta pulling up. Looks like we've got ourselves a secret weapon. The thing about Delta is interesting, man, because Amado said he told Kashin Koji no one from the Kata organization insiders are actually in the Kata hideout. So this right here is going to be a complete surprise. Manga readers, we understand exactly what the situation is going to be and how they handle this, but I just want you guys to understand that this right here did actually pop up in the Boruto manga. So seeing how they handle it anime wise is definitely going to be interesting. But let's hop back in. Look like she looks surprised. It's cool. See, the thing about Delta, you feel me, we don't really know exactly how strong she is in regards to Kashin Koji. Delta already proved her worth. She already proved that she's extremely strong. She held her own, not necessarily completely held, like she wasn't going to beat Naruto, but she held her own against Naruto. So that right there gives me a lot of confidence in Delta than I have in a lot of other characters, essentially 99% of other characters in Naruto Shippuden. So we already know how strong she is, so them handling Delta is going to be very interesting. It's always good to have a lot of secret weapons, especially since our opponent is Jigen. Alright, so we see Naruto, Sumine, Boruto, and Kawaki. Here's the thing. I think in the Boruto manga, we didn't really get to see this. We didn't really see this. So this right here is going to be specifically an anime only thing. So I do want to know exactly what they have in plan for something like this right now. It's going to be interesting. You're right. Well then, should we begin? Understood. All right, this right here was actually in the Boruto manga. This right here is surprising, mainly because, you know, when we talk about Team Isshiki Cho, even though they did get some screen time in the last episode, you don't really expect them to be in manga canon stuff, and they actually were, which is surprising to me. And as soon as I seen them in the actual manga, I knew it was going to go absolutely left, mainly because in the Boruto manga, well, when Kodachi was writing, you don't see random characters just to see random characters. They're going to be in the thick of things in the plot. So needless to say, they're going to be in the thick of things in regards to actual plot. Alright, they pulled up to the Hidden Leaf Village. You know, I don't think we're going to get to see much dialogue between Naruto and Kashin Koji, but I would really like to see if anime-wise, Kashin Koji even gets a glimpse of Naruto, hypothetically, or feels Naruto's chakra or something like that while he's in Sage Mode, or while he does something with Sage Mode, and then says something about Naruto to the effect of, I remember this chakra, I remember Naruto, oh Lord 7, something like that. I don't know. That right there would just be super interesting. Manga readers, we understand why that would be interesting, but I just want to see him see a little bit of Naruto, because obviously Naruto is going to be heavily guarded. So it's going to be very, very slight, but anime-wise, they have a lot of leeway to do a lot of things in this particular episode. We already seen some anime-only scenes in this preview, but regardless, let's keep going. All right, they got Amado pulling up. Now, this right here, manga-wise, we still don't really know what's in this case. I mean, obviously, in a recent chapter of the Boruto manga, we kind of have an idea, mainly because Amado did actually get to work. I don't really want to spoil too much, but regardless, this right here is still interesting. And hopefully, in the Boruto anime, they do dive more into this and actually explain specifically what this right here actually is. Obviously it's carrying something, but we don't really know exactly what it's carrying. I wonder if they have coffee over there. That right there is censored. In the Boruto manga, he said something different. Let me just put it like that. All right, so that's pretty much it. I honestly think that episode 212 is going to be really, really good. A lot of people are actually saying that, oh, we have to wait until episode 214 for it to get really, really good. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong, episode 214 is going to be next level. It's arguably be one of the best episodes thus far. But episode 212 and episode 213, those episodes are going to be absolutely elite as well. I talked about the spoilers and actually gave my opinions about it a couple of videos ago on my channel. So if you guys want to get more information about that, I highly recommend you guys go check out that video. But as well, I did talk about the review of episode 211 in my last video. So if you guys have not seen that, check it out as well. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. Especially, what do you guys think about Kashin Koji now squaring up the Jigen and Amado entering the Hidden Leaf Village? This is going to be completely different, bro. Extremely huge plot twist. But it's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.